Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Tuesday, the 27th of September 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Let's jump into it. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed up 0.4% today to 6,496 points. At one point during the session, it had fallen sharply but slowly recovered throughout the afternoon. It was basically the reverse of Monday. The energy and materials companies did well, and the more defensive stocks underperformed. BHP and Rio Tinto were both up nearly 3%, while Fortescue jumped 5.5%. Woodside and Santos both did well. The banks were mixed. Best on the day was BrainChip Holdings, up more than 7%, while the coal companies, Whitehaven and New Hope, which tumbled yesterday, both jumped sharply today. It's a fickle market out there. Worst on the day was Core Lithium, down 5.6%. Mind you, it remains the best performing stock over the past year of the top 200, up almost 200%. Story number 2, a company owned by the Papua New Guinea government has offered Santos $2.2 billion for a 5% stake in its LNG project in the country. Kumul Petroleum is PNG's national oil and gas company, and it wants the stake. If successful, Santos' stake will fall to 37.5%, and the PNG government stake will rise to 22%. Santos inherited the stake after it acquired Oil Search last year. Story number 3, US Vice President Kamala Harris has thanked Prime Minister Anthony Albanese for his leadership on climate change, saying it will benefit people around the world. She said Mr. Albanese has been particularly strong with his climate goals. Ms. Harris and the Prime Minister are in Tokyo attending the funeral of former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. US and Australian approaches would work in tandem to tackle climate change, Ms. Harris said, noting recent US legislation that dedicated $370 billion to the issue. And I quote, "That will be to the benefit of the people of our respective nations and to the benefit of people around the world." Former Prime Ministers John Howard, Tony Abbott and Malcolm Turnbull are also at the funeral. Story number 3, commodities are really taking centre stage at the moment. Fears of the global economy tipping into recession has pushed the Bloomberg Commodity Spot Index, which measures 23 futures contracts, to its lowest level since January this year. It's off more than 20% since its peak in June, and all the gain post-Russia's invasion of Ukraine has now dissipated. Not helping commodities is the appreciating US dollar. Major commodities are priced in US dollars, and as the greenback rises, commodities become less attractive for other nations. Prices of oil, copper, iron ore, aluminium and other metals have fallen in recent sessions. And speaking of currencies, the Aussie dollar remains under pressure against the US, though it is up from its low of last night. Last night it hit 64.36 US cents. It's currently trading closer to 65 US cents. Cryptocurrencies have also had a better 24 hours, with Bitcoin back above $20,000 US dollars a unit. Story number 5, Wall Street tumbled again overnight, with a broad-based S&P 500 finishing down 1%, while the tech-heavy Nasdaq was off 0.6%. Global bond yields continue to rise. Now, the Bank of England this morning ruled out an emergency interest rate increase to stem the British pound slide to record lows, triggering yet another sell-off in sterling and bonds. Carnage, I'd say. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 27th of September, 2022. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.